Numbers like those that put the Commonwealth on the path to reopening. And with that comes the return of 2 annual RVA traditions.
Very exciting. And today organizers announced the 2nd Street Festival and Richmond Folk Festival are back in person this year. Last year's events were held virtually, but organizers say after months of discussions, the decision was made to celebrate the way we used to. On your side at 6, Enzo Domingo spoke with organizers about what to expect at this year's events.
Now, it's a big announcement, sure to make a lot of people happy, but organizers say we are still a ways away from October, so things can still change. But because of that, they are keeping a close eye on guidelines to make sure that they can adapt so that people can certainly enjoy these events in person as planned.
Like Friday Cheers a few weeks ago, other annual Richmond traditions are slated to come back. The 2nd Street Festival on October 2nd and 3rd, and the Richmond Folk Festival on the 8th through the 10th.
People are excited to gather and celebrate in each other's shared cultures and differences.
Stephen Leckie with Venture Richmond says the decision to come back in person has been in the works for months through discussions with state and city officials and other event organizers, while the demand for their return grew.
In the last month and a half, once the weather has turned and vaccinations are rolling and restrictions are lifting, we have absolutely been fielding a lot more phone calls and emails and grocery store connections of friends asking, hey, what's going on with the 2nd Street Festival and the Folk Festival?
The 2nd Street Festival, now going over 3 decades, is a celebration of Jackson Ward's Black community featuring local bands and vendors.
It's a bit of a homecoming for that neighborhood.
The Folk Festival is getting closer to 2 decades of live music, touting itself as the country's largest folk fest and Virginia's biggest event.
People hear the word folk and they might think of Peter, Paul, and Mary or banjos and quilts. It's a lot more than that. Everything from go-go music to blues to reggae.
Both are certainly best experienced in person rather than on the other side of a screen. And for the next few weeks and months, Venture is working on getting all the vendors, bands, and other logistical works in order to make sure that both events go off without a hitch.
To be able to provide folks a little respite and a night out or an afternoon out with their family or with their loved ones or solo is a beautiful thing.
Now, both events are free, and Venture Richmond says that they're going to keep a close eye on health guidelines as we get closer to October. On your side in Richmond, Enzo Domingo, NBC 12.